Good morning. The largest importer of vehicles into the United States is General Motors. GM imports even more cars than Toyota. Over 600,000 cars GM sold in the US in 2024 were built outside the United States. And that's especially true of their most affordable brands, the Chevy Trax and the Invista SUV. So General Motors is getting killed by the new tariffs now in effect, and these affordable cars aren't affordable anymore. The world is splintering into two worlds. North America and Europe have high trade barriers, high tariffs, and high costs. There is another world of everyone else. General Motors now cannot sell low-priced cars in the United States. That market's gone. But GM is selling affordable cars everywhere else. Wuling is GM's joint venture partner here in China, and General Motors offers a sports utility vehicle here priced at $15,450. GM has a subcompact electric vehicle for just $8,000, and they're still making money at $15,000 and at $8,000. Outside the United States and Western Europe, car buyers have a lot of choices across all price points. Lots of people in the US would happily pay $15,000 for that SUV. But General Motors cannot affordably import the cars they build for Asian markets because of the tariffs. Now GM needs to find $5 billion to muddle through their exposure to the new tariffs, and they're forecasting a big hit to their earnings. Ford is the only car maker whose stock is up on the year, largely because Ford produces more of their vehicles in country. If there is an agreement with South Korea soon, maybe some of GM's problems will go away. Stellantis imports 44% of its Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram pickup trucks into the US market, and Ford's imports total 21%. GM's particular problem is where its factories are. Their cars in Korea get hit with a 25% tariff, and GM's factories in China will now see tariffs at 30%. This all leads to an inevitable outcome. The low-cost car market is just gone. Car makers will simply stop building them for the American market. The tariffs take away the first-time buyer markets. So General Motors slashed forward guidance and cut capital spending by a third, from $2.7 billion to $1.8 billion. Things are a little bit better at Ford, who faces a hit of $2.5 billion, but they hope to shuffle some things around and offset about $1 billion of that. They previously forecast $8.5 billion in profits for the year, but now expect that supply chain disruptions are going to hit them on everything from new cars to replacement parts. Ford is trying to buy some time by using bonded transportation to store products and delay paying the tariffs until the last possible moment. The crux of the problem is here, that even for the cars that are made in the United States, so many of the parts used to build them are imported. Industry insiders estimate that the tariffs on those parts will increase per vehicle production costs from $3,000 to over $12,000. And these cost increases will lead to price increases, which will hit new car demand. New car prices are already at historic highs, and the new tariffs will push prices even higher by another 10% or more. And remember, these are cars made in the United States in American factories. Those big price spikes will hurt demand, so car production is going to fall by an estimated 10% to 20%, or up to 3 million fewer cars a year, which means layoffs and job losses are coming soon. Again, we see that the biggest hit is on the cars and the parts being imported into the United States. The entirety of these cars are hit with tariffs, whether they're being sold under General Motors or Ford brands or from foreign car makers. And many of those cars were for the affordable and first-time buyer markets. So these imports will face higher costs and a supply shock that will mean higher prices industry-wide. This is a movie that we've seen before, and recently. 4 years ago, we ran into supply shocks for everything especially computer chips. Car production fell, car prices rose, going up 17% in a single year. But used car prices rose even faster, jumping 32% during 2021, even though used cars were not affected at all by the shortage of computer chips going into new cars. In other words, shortages of new cars drove up demand for the used cars even faster. Now we're watching it all again. Used vehicles are not affected by any of these tariffs on new cars, but prices on used cars are already shooting higher. Prices are up 4.9% year over year and up 2.7% since just last month. Typically, month-to-month prices change just 0.2, but this month it's over 10 times that. These are wholesale auctions for car dealers, and they're already pricing in big price spikes for new vehicles, and so are already paying up to build out used car inventories. These trends are much stronger than they usually see for this time of year. And once these trends start going, they keep going. Kelley Blue Book, the big jump we are seeing now is just the first of more and bigger ones. Used car supply was 43 days, which is already low historically, and now it's just 39 days. The 25% tariffs on new cars being imported, plus all the imported parts used in cars built in the United States, those are driving prices higher for all cars. Affordability problems here. Again, used cars below $15,000 are very hard to find with only under a month's supply. The biggest selling cars carry an average price of about $24,000, but Kelley Blue Book says that the bottom is probably already in for all those models, and everything is going to move higher. What's different this time compared to 2021, though, is that 4 years ago, car makers were trying to build affordable car brands for the United States market, but now they're not doing that anymore. This is Nanning in Guangxi. Be good.
The truth and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. Everyone who hears these words of Jesus and acts on them is like a wise man who built his house on a rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and yet the house did not fall, for it was founded on a rock. Our Father,